Well, hello everyone. I'm Russell Ray with Oklahoma CareerTech, and welcome once again to CareerTech Conversations, where we discuss the many ways CareerTech is breaking down barriers in education and giving students of all ages the skills they need to enter the workforce and make informed career choices. We have a very special guest with us here today. His name is Brent Haken, and he is the new State Director of Oklahoma CareerTech. Brent, thanks for making the time today.
Oh, I'm glad to be here. Glad to share the story of Oklahoma CareerTech.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And when I say brand new, I mean brand new. You've been on the job a couple of weeks.
Yeah, I think we're at like day 11 or 12 now. So, yeah it's all a blur.
And you have literally hit the ground running. You've been running across the state talking to superintendents, visiting tech centers, and talking to lawmakers. How have you been received over the last couple of weeks?
Everybody's been really good to work with. I think what is so great about CareerTech system is the way that the system really works together. And the state understands, that we are a needed entity for our kids and for our adults to provide different educational opportunities for them. So everything's been really good. I couldn't thank everyone enough for what they've done for me, but it has been a lot to learn in a real quick time.
And we've got the legislative session coming up. I know you're very much focused on that. Before we get into that, let's talk a little bit about you, your background as a CareerTech student, as a CareerTech teacher, and tell us a little bit about why you were compelled to pursue this position as a State Director of Oklahoma CareerTech.
Oh, that's great. Well, I tell people my first exposure to CareerTech was my grandpa was an industrial arts teacher. So I grew up around what technical education was and what we were doing, vocational training in those days and how it expanded. And then as I got into middle school and saw my family being engaged in an ag program that we had at Glencoe where I grew up, I was drawn to it. And so starting in 8th grade, I was in an ag program there, also involved in the FACS program that we had there. So involved in both and really got a lot out of what CareerTech had to offer. And it was actually after my first year of college that I felt a need or a draw to working with students again. So I was asked to work alumni leadership camp for FFA. And that's when I realized I wanted to work with kids and show them the opportunities that are out there. I felt like we, as students in Oklahoma, weren't always exposed to what different avenues we could go down. So that's why I changed my major when I came back and got into agricultural education, started my career at Wellston. That's where I was an ag teacher. I was student teaching there and then got hired on, was 3 years there before we had started having our own family. My wife and I are high school sweethearts, so we started a family while we were there, decided to move back home where both of our families were from and had opportunity to raise our family with our extended family, so it worked out really good. I was ag teacher at Stillwater for 3 years while I was there, and then I was able to move to Morrison, which is just outside of the Stillwater area, continue my agricultural education career, which was 8 years long, and then I moved into administration. I felt that there was a need for somebody really willing to give back and serve in education, so that's why I was drawn to administration. Loved every minute of it. Was assistant elementary principal there, high school principal, and then superintendent at Morrison for the last 3.5 years before I came to CareerTech. Yeah.
And you are a cattleman.
Yes.
As well.
Yeah. So we raise commercial cattle, seed stock, and we do some stocker calves as well. We have a cow-calf operation, and then we run a little wheat pasture when the weather's better than it is this year.
Well, the Oklahoma's workforce is obviously something that we're very much into. When it comes to helping businesses develop their workforces, it seems Oklahoma CareerTech has a seat at the table in every single conversation. Why do you think Oklahoma CareerTech is considered to be such a vital component in workforce development in the state?
No, I'm glad you point that out, Russell, because we're like the glove to the hand of workforce right now, and we provide what is needed. And that's why we're so unique in the education platform, is because we can change and adapt to whatever the business and industry needs. So not only do we offer programs that are consistent, health careers, right now working on broadband, aerospace that we've been working on, but consistent through our education that also have clusters that reach into the high schools and even down to 5th grade and STEM and through what we do with our Ag, Fax, BMIT, so many different programs that are out there. But then business and industry training can be specific. So if a business comes to us, like a police force comes to us and wants specific training, we can do that. anyone can really reach out to CareerTech and see if we can meet their needs. And very rarely is there a time that we can't find somebody in our system that is ready to train.
Now you've been at state capitol a few times already, talking to state lawmakers about CareerTech's budget request for fiscal 24. What are your hopes in regards to this year's legislative session?
So really my hope is to reach more people.
Yeah.
So that equates to dollars most of the time. When we want to engage more people, then it's going to take a little bit more money. So we're hoping to grow our capacity to reach students, whether they're adult learners or secondary learners. We want to make sure that we have an opportunity to place people where they want to be. So we want to look at education as a means to get to the lifestyle that you want to have. And then your career is what takes you there. So we feel like we are that person or entity in education that can blur the lines from K-12 all the way to post-secondary or career placement, is where we can help get people where they need to be. So really our ask is for legislatures to understand that we want to have a larger role, that we can reach more people, and that it's going to take some funding to do that.
Yeah. Reaching more people. Enrollments at Oklahoma CareerTech are up across the board.
They are.
It seems like more parents and more students are discovering the advantages of a CareerTech education. What are some of those advantages in gaining a CareerTech education?
Yeah, so what we offer is pretty vital to our workforce, but to those individual learners is even more vital. So Secretary Cardona, U.S. Secretary of Education, recently visited us because he had heard about what our CareerTech system could offer. So it's vital because they're getting hands-on training. The application of learning that they've had across their lifetime is real in CareerTech, but then also how does that transition to the workforce? Am I going to learn specific skills that are going to be tangible when I get hired? And that's why it's so vital, because we do that.
So Brent, as the new state director for just a couple of weeks now, sorry to put you on the spot here.
That's okay.
But what are some of your goals for Oklahoma's CareerTech system as you look into the future?
So to really be specific on every goal, we're going to have to do a deeper dive into what our boots are doing on the ground. But I do have some goals and some vision, I guess, for what our future holds. I expect for us to be able to expand not only our offerings at tech centers, but into our high school sites and even down to our middle school, so that we can engage learners at a younger age. I think that is the area we need to grow most quickly in, is be able to reach learners and show them what their interests are. We partner really well with what ICAP was envisioned for Oklahoma. That's why we have OK Career Guide out there, because we feel like that's vital, is to reach people and show them pathways available. So reaching younger learners is the goal that I have also, but then expanding our workforce development, which I would consider to be our secondary and post-secondary opportunities, so that it translates into career placement, but career advancement as well. We do credentialing really well, which we now have the new initiative for badging to show that credential. I think that's our area of growth, is that we can show through credential training, you can grow your platform in your career. So those are areas that I definitely want to meet. What is the tangible number for that growth? I haven't got my finger on it yet, but I know that those are the areas that we have to expand.
You know, Oklahoma is regularly recognized as one of the best CareerTech systems in the nation. And I think perhaps a large part of that is due to its independence, which gives our system the flexibility, the agility to respond to businesses' workforce needs. Do you think that independence is key or crucial to preserve?
So luckily, we had the foresight years ago, really through the middle 60s and late 60s, to create some independency. We became an independent agency in 68. And so that has, exactly what you said, created versatility, where we can move more nimbly to meet the needs. So I think that's vital for how our system works, is that we know our system the best. We accredited our own schools. We help provide program assistance to our own teachers. So those things work because we are independent. And it's so great that we have that system. Not every state does. And that's why other states are coming in and looking at how we do that. Our people saw a need, and that's how they really formed us, was through their own votes. CareerTech centers that you think of all across the state were formed by local votes, local decision, local control. So that independence has created what the people need, where they need it, and when they need it.
Well, Brent, your passion really comes through. We're really excited about having you here at Oklahoma CareerTech as our new state director. we're really looking forward to seeing the results of all your hard work.
Thank you, Russell.
So much. You bet.
I appreciate it.
Well, for more information about Oklahoma CareerTech, just visit our website at okcareertech.org, and don't forget to follow Oklahoma CareerTech on social media. You can find us on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and Instagram. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in. We hope you'll join us for our next episode of CareerTech Conversations. For Oklahoma CareerTech, I'm Russell Ray.